welcome to another Zoomcast from the Daily Stampede. We've been, graciously welcomed with Augie Sanchez, USF's all-time leading tackler, and quarterback Stephen Bench from Mr. Former Penn State, and Mr. Tampa himself, Chris Oladokin, who's now at Stanford and kind of throwing the pill around a little bit. I appreciate y'all hopping on. Got Will Kennedy, former equipment manager at USF and spent a year at Northwestern. So he's all about the Big Ten now and sports and football and cold weather. So I appreciate y'all hopping on. Point of this Zoom call is we put together the top uniforms of the decade from 2010 to 2019. And we whittled it down to the top 10. And we're going to get your thoughts, the guys who wore those jerseys, and see where our staff hit and missed on the top 10 here. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we'll take it from there. You guys just chime in whenever you have a thought, and we'll go from there. Number 10, it got an 8.0 from our panel here. It's 2015, 2016, 101. It's white, green. We've dubbed this white helmet with the oversized gold U God's helmet. I think it's the best helmet USF's worn, maybe outside of the breast cancer awareness helmet. Thoughts from the guys who wore it, 2015, 2016. What did you guys think when you saw those helmets, when you saw the outfit, the uniform choice for that game? What was going through your head? Let's start with Bench, and we'll go from there.
I was digging these. I like these a lot. I think I only got to wear these once. But definitely the white. I'm a big fan. I told you earlier I like the all white anyways, but I like the white on white on top. And so I'm a big fan. I think 8's good for this. The 8.0 is good for this.
Chris, you wore it once in 2016. Actually, you may not have. It was a road game. Did you travel 2016?
Yeah, I traveled. I wore it.
Okay. So what did you think of the fits? How did it look? Where would this rank in your top jerseys that you wore in your career at USF?
I mean, yeah, like you said, the white helmet with the oversized U, that was my favorite helmet that we wore. I thought it was clean. And, that year, my freshman year, everyone had a visor too. So, like you see Rodney had the visor. Like, I just feel like that completed the helmet. So, the white on white, that was a good look for us. But, yeah, I'd say 8. The 8's a good rating for this uniform.
And, Augie, you wore it both years. Where does this rank for you?
I think it's kind of it's kind of classic USF. It's not too much flair. It's not too much swag like kind of the other ones you got later on. I think it's good at 8.0 too. I'm with Chris. That was probably my favorite helmet we wore just because it was just like sleek and fresh looking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
that's the helmet I kept too from my senior year. Is like the white and gold one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the visor on it?
Absolutely, bro. I just wear it around the house every now and then.
Absolutely. I said understated jersey pant combo, and then God's helmet really sets the mood. It was universally loved, by our staff. And then number 9, I think this is what I deemed the new classic look. It was 2016, 2017. USF 5-1 in this combo. I don't know if y'all remember this. The Syracuse game, spotting them 17 points before blowing their doors off. I think he won by like 20. Bench, I don't think you did not wear this one, but Chris, Augie, what do you guys think of the new classical ways?
I think those are. Man, I know I just said the white was my all-time favorite, but man, looking at those gold helmets, it's kind of I almost want to revert back on this because I love when you went out with those gold ones. It was just kind of like it kind of brought some spotlight to it, and we were 5-1 in those, so it makes those even better. But I think I'm with you. I think that was the classic look for last year as well. For most of the years now.
Ever since Charlie got there, that's been the away look.
Yeah, so I'm with you. It probably is the classic look now for most part, but I like those helmets, and I think the helmets make those pop the most.
I did like these. When we first got these helmets, or I saw these helmets, I always wish we had the white helmets back, just because I thought it looked better. Just the all white look looked better. But I liked these helmets. What I thought was weird about these helmets though was the face mask, because it was a different green than the U on our helmets. So I always thought that was a little weird. But overall, I liked the helmets, and I always liked the white on white look.
Dang, I didn't even know that, Chris. You got more swag than me on these things, though.
I like the detail a lot.
Yeah, no,
I like the detail a lot.
I remember when we first got them, like, our U sort of darker green, and then the face mask was like, it was lighter. It was almost like it was like between a neon and like a dark green. So I was like, I mean, that's a little off.
Now that you mention it, like I remember it, but I would never have thought about that unless you didn't say anything.
Yeah, I remember that bothered me for a while when those.
Yeah, that's good. Another number 8, checking in number 8, another 8.0.
I didn't get to wear this, but this is number 1. And this is the best uniform in USF history. Doesn't matter if it's the decade or not. This is the best one they've ever. I didn't even get to wear this one. This one's the GOAT though. I saw this. I saw Jeremy showed me this one like drawn up or whatever. Like my senior year, bro. And this is the GOAT for me for sure. 8 is too low.
I'd agree with Steve on that. I think 8's too low for this one. I got this jersey at the house right now, and this was, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but this was like definitely top 3 for me. This when we wore this, I don't even think I might have maybe played a couple plays this game, but I mean I felt clean on the sideline. I felt like an All-American on the sideline with these jerseys.
So I'm with Bench. This is my number 1.
Yeah, bro. This is just phenomenal, bro.
Well, I'll tell you, this is what USF was getting to, was just kind of like that. I mean, we were pumping out uniform combos that were just legit.
Yeah.
I mean, for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that would topped it off. That was our senior night. So that one kind of has a little more special value to me. But, man, those were fresh. When we ran out and everyone saw those, and I don't know, it was like, that's how we played. We were fast. It was just at the end of that class, that was just who we were. And, like, that was just a way to cap it off with those. And I wish we got to wear them more. I used to always tell Taggart, and I love those Sofos. He hated them because of we
lost our first 2 games and wearing the fucking Sprites.
And everyone would wear the neon loose shirt under a jersey.
See, that was dope too. That's up there too. Like I like that.
I'll never forget it. I was a freshman, and Tice broke like a long one on like a little screen, and he had their shirt over it.
Flapping in the wind.
He got dragged by. Taggart starts going off. Like, don't wear. Everyone tuck that shit in. We'll never wear this shit again. I was like, damn.
High school shit, bro. Who cares?
That Townsend jersey that you're talking about in the neon green. I think that was for me. I think I wrote it. I think it came in at like number 11 or 12 or something for us. And what I wrote, I think, was if fans didn't know that this 2016 team was going to be special, they knew by that jersey and that night. That was a great combo, and I know all the old people hated it because the neon green, that the shirts were untucked. But I thought it just gave it a different pop than some of the other ones we had seen.
Yeah, that SoFlo series though was legit. Even the all blacks that they wore.
Bro, even like the baseball team and the basketball team had fire SoFlo stuff.
Yeah. That just made us seem like we were with it, like we were with the times. Like let's get it, like we're ready to play ball because we're with it.
I loved it.
Yeah. All right, number 7, checking in 8.2, worn 2014-2015 USF. Unfortunately, 0-2 in this.
I don't get how this is higher than the other one.
Yeah, the other one, dude. The other one's
way better.
I agree. The other one's better.
Fair. That is all fair points. All fair points. Will said the exact same thing. I think 8 was better than 7 here. I do like it. The thing I don't like about this jersey is if the USF was like a different color, because it just kind of bleeds into the number.
Yeah.
If it was like white, I think it could pop a little bit more. But other than that, I mean, I still really liked it. I hate white helmets. Like that, they are the bane of my existence. Like the early 2010 helmets were awful. This one's nice, and then the matte whites with the oversized U is kind of where I draw the line for white helmets. But overall, I mean, 2015. I think this is the Memphis game. The game kind of pissed away a little bit, but hey, it all worked out for the better, I think.
Well, shoot, that was the game actually where the whole thing's turned around. Where you finally had guys care.
And everybody was like, dude, we did everything you asked and got our ass kicked out here.
Whoa. We didn't get our ass kicked. We lost by like 3 points.
It's an L.
It is an L. But that was the game where it was like, all right, we can play.
Yeah,
because Memphis was legit.
That's when they had.
After that, everybody went to Willie. Was like, dude, you got to let us off the leash, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what, Syracuse like a week or two after that, I think.
It was the game after.
It was the next game.
Yeah.
It was the next game.
Yeah, that was good. I agree. I think the top 6 are kind of where it goes. I mean, number 6, 8.4, 2016, 1-0. This was basically Quentin's perfect game.
It was the most ridiculous game I've ever seen in my life.
This game was cold.
The game was cold.
It was cold.
I mean, the green mat with the oversized U and the whites kind of finishing up the combo are fantastic. You guys prefer the matte white with the gold oversized U to this one?
But
I like these. I still like these.
Yeah, but these are clean too. I used to like the oversized U regardless.
Yeah,
my take.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at all these uniforms, we were pretty souped up, man. These are all good uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, I think the equipment staff, once they kind of found their groove and realized what the identity of the team was, that they really kind of took off. And I think the oversized U helmets, the SoFlo stuff, I think that really epitomized what those Taggart era, 2015, 2016 teams were about. And it was swag, and you're going to be really, really fast, and we're going to punch you in the mouth. And I think that was it. And final question, Augie, Chris, did Dietrich have pass interference on those 2 plays in the end zone? And just be honest. I mean, you can't. Was it DPI?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I was gonna let Augie talk, but from where I was sitting, yeah.
But they were letting them play though. That was the Anthony Miller kid, and we couldn't stop them all game. It was just they had us schemed up on the pin and pull, and then towards the end of that game, we went 0 coverage. Dietrich said, "Hey, I want to get them." We said, "Let's get it then," and he stopped. He went 3 for 3.
Yeah,
I think
he went 3 for 3.
And the last
was a great game.
Questionable. I mean,
that was physical. That was a physical little deal there. He could have if he would have got called, I don't think anyone would have been able to argue it.
No, absolutely not.
It was for sure.
Was this the best game you all ever saw Quentin play in person? I think like this was just another level of Quentin Flowers that I don't think had been realized at that point.
I'd say this game and UCF when we played at their place.
2017,
yeah.
I don't know. He's had so many.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You go play that Navy game where he comes back from a hurt deal, and he comes back from a hurt hamstring and busts that 80-yard run to start the game.
Right, he chopped up UConn like it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. So there's a.
Yeah, true. But I didn't see it.
Even in that game,
I didn't see it in person. His best game, I'd say, was UCF, bro. That was crazy.
But even in that game against Tulsa, when y'all wore the white SoFlos with the neon, he had some like the stupidest runs I've ever seen in my life. Like he just like ran like 40 yards and stopped on a dime, made like 2 Tulsa dudes run into each other and then just go around them.
I knew Q was gonna have a good game when he'd come to the sideline and be like, tell them to give me the ball. Once he said give me the ball one time, it was over with. Like he was gonna take over every time.
I'm low key biased towards Q, but he's like one of the most underrated college football players I think ever.
I think we're all kind of biased towards him. but yeah.
But some of the stuff he did, if you really sit and honestly, I'll even go Marlon Mack. they showed that run today against him against UCF.
Oh,
Those
dude.
two together, come on, man. Yeah, like yeah, whatever. We all knew him and we're biased towards him, but come on, the stuff those dudes put on film together was unreal.
Bro, in 17 against UCF, Q had more yards than the entire UCF offense by himself.
Yeah, he was freaky, man. He really was.
That shit is dumb. It's ridiculous.
Say it was something to watch. I couldn't imagine watching on the sidelines every day and seeing it in practice. I mean, yeah, it is incredible. All right, so we're in the top 5 now. These are, I mean, top 5. I think you can kind of pick and choose. This is an 8.7. This was 2015, 2016. 1 and 2 in this combo. Green, white, green. What do you guys think? I think this is a pretty classic look as well.
I'm with you. I think it's classic. I think it's just that kind of is like looks like old school USF. I mean, I like it. Like I said, I feel like every time you're showing these jerseys, I'm like, okay, I don't see anything wrong with any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was definitely a traditional look. I mean, like I said, the oversized U really makes the uniform, in my opinion.
For sure.
Did we ever wear green, white, white?
For the helmet, green helmet, and then white, white and white.
Green helmet, white uniform.
I'd have to double check through our.
I feel like we never
against
did.
Memphis.
I feel like we never did.
That's Wait.
Oh, right there. My bad.
That's it. Yeah.
That was the one before that.
My bad. I'm tripping. That's why it's on my mind. My bad. I apologize.
No
I would put that one ahead of this one. I would put that one ahead of this one for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean these were.
I'm a slut for all white, honestly.
We'll love number 1 then. All right, number 4, 2015, 2016. This is an 8.8. This is
I like it a lot.
The Miami Beach Bowl set. I think this is pretty flawless.
I think this is the best uniform, like generic, non like SoFlo or military. This is the best generic USF uniform I think they've ever worn.
Yeah, this uniform was fire with the white helmet and the white pants. This is fire.
This is the best green jersey uniform.
Yeah, for sure.
USF.
Yeah, I agree. Sucks we got beat that game, man. I low key have an attachment. I see these records and I'm getting frustrated.
Because the only other time he wore this was Florida State, and then Rodney caught the pass on like the first play of the game. Everybody was going buck, and then the rest of the game just didn't go as well.
Yeah, I know.
Hey man, it was still a fantastic season.
They look clean as hell.
They do.
Yeah, those are clean. Those are fresh.
Yeah, so that was number 4, 8.8. That's pretty good. Number 3, 9.1. This is 2016 1-0. I would assume this is the Navy game.
That's the Navy game. That's where he busted that. That's where we busted. That's where we smacked them.
Yeah. This is a clean look. I love. I know there's a tie-in to this, out jersey combo with the airfield that USF was built on, and being able to pull that out for Navy. And I love the USF how it's spelled out like that. I think this is a top jersey for me as well. What was it? 2016. You guys were wearing this. What was this? Shock? When did you guys know that you were going to be wearing this? How did that go down?
No, I loved this uniform. When it first came out, I was a freshman too, so I already thought every jersey was clean. But when we got this uniform, they said we could keep it. This one's hanging up in my room too. On the back too, that you can't see. You got the American flag and stuff too. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that jersey combo is legit. It's our senior. It was our senior night one, so we got it framed. But it's just pretty. That jersey's just cool for everything it embodies. The United States, and then, like you said, the airfield. I don't think we knew about this jersey until we walked in that day. But it just, I don't know, just how the USF is like kind of in that Army letter. It was just legit.
Yeah, I think that, and then the shoulders, and then the detail in the oversized U. I think that's what kind of makes it, and the undersleeves, the tight undersleeve for Quentin here. It looks awesome.
Yeah, that's a legit jersey. Behind that SoFlo, that's probably my number 2.
Yeah, they did their thing with this one.
All right, so we're in the top 2 here. Number 2, with a 9.2, wore it 2015, 2016. It's the breast cancer awareness jerseys. Some call it the watermelon jerseys. Others call it perfect. Others being me, I think the helmet is just phenomenal. I think green and pink just work, and it just kind of pops, especially with the pink letters, the pink trim around the numbers. What did you guys think when you guys saw this? All the swag that y'all wore. The different accessories. How did you guys feel about this combo?
I was just gonna say I wasn't digging that one, honestly. I like the pink accessories and stuff, right? Like I like the pink sleeves and all that, and I'm also digging the helmet. But like as a uniform, I was not a big fan of these.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I thought these would have been what was part 2, the meh. These would have been meh for me.
Okay.
No, I personally liked them, but I only liked them because of all the accessories we had with them. We had the sleeves, we had the gloves, we had socks that game. We had it all decked out. So that's the only reason I liked it. If we didn't have any of that, I think the accessories really made the jersey. Like you see some of them out there playing and stuff. Like I'm sure Augie went out there with just socks and cleats on. It might have looked a little suspect with Augie, but if you had the on, I thought it was clean.
I liked them. I mean, I think with all these like specialty jerseys, they were just cool to wear during that. Just because, and two, you're supporting a good cause, so maybe not the best on the looks, but the cause and just kind of the difference than the normal was just cool to be a part of. Like Chris said, I wasn't like the most swaggy person. I went out there with pink socks and pink gloves, and that was all my accessories. So.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the pink. Pink's a phenomenal color. I think it goes with almost anything. Yeah, I really liked it. And then, drum roll, please. Number 1 is, I think, probably simple. It's perfect. It was just phenomenal with a 9.4, 5-0 between 2015 2016 in this combo. God's helmet and then white on white. I mean, straight stormtrooper look. Birmingham Bowl win. I mean, what was your thoughts? Let's start with Augie here on this one.
Well, I like it just because we were 5-0. We didn't really lose, but that's a clean look. I know everyone loves the all white look, and you go down there, and I think one game we went all white cleats with it. So that look is, I mean, it's unmatched. White is so clean and just one of those deals that you can't really duplicate.
Chris.
Yeah, like you said, we went 5-0 in these uniforms. I mean, I feel like when we wore all white, we just had like a different swag about us. We had a different energy. Like when we walked in the locker room, we saw all white. We already knew like it was time to play. So I mean, you can't beat the white on white look.
Bench.
Yeah, bro, I'm all in on the all white. Like I said, I would have done the all white SoFlos as number 1, and then these would be my number 2 all day. Like they said, bro, all white's undefeated. Even like when we were Penn State, everyone loved all white. Like every team's got. I mean, like the Falcons' new jerseys are pretty awful, and their all white look is going to be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like all white is just
you can't mess up all white
every time. Yeah. And the simpler the better. The simpler the better. You feel me? Like the more white you can get on there, the better.
Yeah, the white helmet is really what makes it like perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris and Augie, you guys wore, I guess Augie, you didn't. Your final year was the final year Under Armour. So Chris, 2018, first year Adidas, right?
Yeah.
The away whites were so much better than the home greens. Is that
much better?
Fair?
Yeah, they were so much better. I didn't really like the greens, to be honest. I mean, I thought they
look pretty stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Adidas looks pretty goofy.
Yeah, I just like I thought Adidas, like when we're getting Adidas, I was like, dang, we're gonna have these tie behind uniforms. Like we're gonna be looking sleek and thin, like. But when I got the all greens, none of us really liked wearing the green uniforms. We always
got like the they pulled out like a generic JUCO uniform and just put South Florida on. And we're like, all right, bet, here you go.
Yeah, I was seeing like D3 schools and like community colleges with the same jersey we had in high school teams, with except we had whatever we had on. I don't even remember what we had on it, to be honest. South Florida, we had South Florida on it.
I think Adidas, like the sideline gear and stuff, is dope. It's probably better than Under Armour's, but the uniforms are just not. They're not it to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm all in on Under Armour. I don't really like Adidas that much. Adidas has good shoes, though.
I'm cool with. Yeah, I was about to say I'm cool with Adidas. The Under Armour uniforms weren't bad. I hated like with a passion the cleats. Like my feet are fucked. From
I
hated the shoes that we'd have to wear.
Yeah,
and stuff. I felt like I had no swag. They were just like clunky and just like.
Well, they weren't even comfortable. I think when I was working for the team, I got like one pair of shoes throughout the entire like 3 years I worked for the team that are actually comfortable, and I like ran around practicing and could like survive.
Yeah,
no. Yeah.
I didn't like the shoes too much.
I was not an Under Armour guy. I wasn't with it. I didn't like it.
I agree. I think Under Armour shoes are very uncomfortable, but they make hell of jerseys. I don't think a single Adidas jersey made our top 20.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of good uniforms. I mean, the All Blacks were all right because you could barely see the tire tread.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, even that, like that, the All Black helmets were great, but the rest of the jersey, there was room for improvement, I would say.
I only liked the All Blacks because of the story behind it. We had tried to get Coach Strong to get us All Black uniforms a whole year. But what I hated about it is he made us go warm up in the all green, then cut warm up short, go in, and then change. So we had to cut all of our tape off. We're sweaty. We're trying to rip stuff off. Like, it was a hassle. I didn't like that part of it. But
and then he damn near blamed. Because y'all beat UConn, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah, then we almost blew the game, and
yeah, and he blamed the uniforms. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, nah, I saw that one coming. He was not happy.
Well, that's just Charlie being Charlie, but yeah.
I mean, there's the blaming the jersey is not even the worst kind of thing. When he was at Louisville, there's when Call of Duty was huge.
Oh yeah.
He blamed the Louisville loss on Call of Duty because all the players were just up playing Call of Duty all night in the week preparing for a game.
I love that.
And there's like a running like story thread. So every year after Call of Duty gets released, there's an update to his record after the week of so it's
that's funny.
That's funny as hell.
All right, guys, I do appreciate y'all coming on. I just wanted to ask you just a couple of questions here, of you guys. That 2016 team, Chris, your freshman year. I mean, you got a lot of run in fall camp. I think Willie was a big fan of your talent. What made you go to USF? And then I don't want to throw anyone too far under the bus that already, but when did it start to kind of change for you that maybe this isn't where I belong?
Well, Coach Taggart, that was my guy. He recruited me there, and I felt like when my freshman year, when I got in the fall camp, I was running with. Sometimes he would throw me in there with the ones just to see what I could do, and I was going against guys like Augie, Dietrich, Hoggins, Mike Love, all them guys. So that made me better too. I got to watch behind Quentin that whole year. I was really close with Quentin, got really close to him throughout the year and my years after that. And I sort of knew I didn't want to be at USF. When Taggart left, it's a funny story. I woke up. My roommate was Trey Dukes. And I woke him up. I'm like, yo, Taggart's leaving. I was like, man, shut up. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm like, nah, he's leaving. And we just sat there and looked at each other like, yo, what are we going to do? Like, we just got here. We're like, all right, let's give whoever we bring in, let's give them a chance. I sort of knew the culture had changed, when the next coaching staff came in. We just didn't have that same energy, I would say, that same swag, in my opinion. That's when I sort of knew it was, going not downhill, but I didn't feel the same to me. But Q was there, so he sort of kept my spirits up always. And once Q left too, that's when ship sailed pretty much.
Yeah. No, I get it. And on the flip side, Augie, you're redshirt junior going into your senior year. You have a new coach coming in. Granted, the defense turns around your senior year, but did you see the culture shift? And as a leader on that team, how did you try to navigate the difference in Charlie Strong to Willie Taggart to Willie and then Sterling Gilbert, and try to kind of navigate that entire situation and try to keep the ship afloat as long as possible?
Well, I mean, I think when that year came, it was kind of like whoever's coming there, like, don't mess it up. Kind of was our philosophy as players. I think because that group, I think regardless of who came there, they were going to have a little bit of a fall off, because I think that our senior year, we graduated 26 seniors, guys who've been playing since. I mean, I played as a redshirt freshman, and then I didn't miss a game. And then you got the guys now who are backups that haven't seen the field for forever. So that fall off was going to happen, I think, regardless. I think the transition was definitely different, and it was something that was very aware publicly, privately. Taggart and Charlie Strong are apples and oranges. I mean, I don't know if I use that right, but they're totally different.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But Strong is kind of, he's old school. He's a defensive guy, and Taggart was a young, up and coming, offensive minded guy. Those are complete opposites. So, like you said, we turned around the defense, and we play well. Coach BJ, fantastic coach, and we were always ready to go. We were always ready to play. I think Chris can attest to that. But the issue we had, and everyone said it on thing, Sterling Gilbert wasn't a bad guy. He tried to make Quentin his system quarterback, and we struggled with that because Quentin, y'all saw what Quentin could do. He was a backyard, let's go get it. I'm gonna put me in the game. I'm gonna do the best thing, and Gilbert runs the hurry up quick offense and tried to transform Q into that, and it didn't. I mean, it worked. We won 10 games, but it didn't work like it was supposed to. If you really look back, the year before, defense let the offense down where we should have been conference champions, and then the next year, the offense let the defense down where we should have been back-to-back conference champions. We should have been UCF before UCF, so it was definitely frustrating in the sense of that, because we came so close. USF never won a championship, and it's like, you're so close, like, don't mess it up. We don't need someone to come in here and mess it up, and that, unfortunately, is, I don't know if they messed it up, but it just wasn't the best fit for what we had, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I think it was pretty evident in spring ball 2017 that the offense wasn't going to be the same. It was a lot of inside run and then deep shots, and that was it. From the sidelines, I thought, okay, there's probably some other stuff that we're just not seeing during, the media allowed portions of practice, but it seemed that was it. That was the offense. Was it? Is that accurate? It was inside run, go routes, and then hitches to the sticks.
Yeah, no, a lot of it was the same thing. It was repetitive, but I mean, they sort of, I feel like our philosophy, being in the quarterback room, it was, if we run 2 plays, we should be able to beat anybody with, the skill set that we had. And, when teams scheme you up, after a while, they're going to figure out that inside zone and those, those 3-way goes that we were running. So, it sort of got repetitive. Teams sort of scouted us out. Then we struggled. We did struggle. And then, during the course of the year, we're trying to put in new plays and change this and change that. And, me and Q, like, we had a lot of conversations where he's just like, man, like, just give me the ball and let me be me. He's like, just let me do my thing. That's sort of what he always wanted. And he was very vocal about it with me on the sideline. The coaches, that year, I mean, a lot of people probably didn't know because, stuff like that doesn't get highlighted. But I was sort of Q's guy on the sideline, like if something was going on, if they wanted to tell Q something, it was, hey, Chris, come here, tell me, and then I'll go talk to Q and I'll relay that message to him. Just so that's how sort of the communication was.
Yeah, that seems like a running theme. I know for like the first 3 months, Sterling Gilbert was there. Q called him Coach Gilbertson, so that was. I think that was kind of the epitome of that relationship. And I'll tell you a quick story. After the bowl game 2017, like, I went off on Sterling Gilbert. After, I think he ran, it was 4th and 1, and he ran No, it was 3rd and 2. Ran back-to-back halfback dives, got stuffed. And I was like, all right, I'm out. This guy is not going to be it. And I was like, fuck it, fire him, get him the F out of here. So fall camp 2018 rolls around, and he brings me Brian Seeger Stretch or whatever you guys call him, brings me up to Sterling. We have a chat, and he's like, yeah, man, you can't be so negative. We don't have enough fans for you to be this negative about my offense. I'm like, well, I mean, yes, Quentin Flowers. And he's like, yeah, well, I mean, look what position Quentin Flowers is playing in the NFL now. I'm like, but greatest player in program history.
And this isn't the NFL.
Figure it out. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I loved Coach Gilbert, like, as a person. Like, he was awesome. Like, you know, he brought us over to his house a whole bunch of times, like, you know, off the field. Like, I mean, I have nothing negative to say about him at all. Like, he was a great dude, to be honest. He even called me when he found out I was transferring from USF 2019. He called me when he was at McNeese and tried to get me over to McNeese. But
you know what the issue with a lot of it is, and I don't think Gilbert is a bad coach, but and this is what I've been preaching to people is it's hard for someone to go away from what they know, right? If you've had success, it's hard to be like. So that's why I think when Taggart became successful, that's why it was so commendable and everyone was so happy, because he went off of what Taggart was a power guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he changed to be successful and what was going to be successful at USF. I don't think Gilbert was so caught up in his system because he had success in it before and he saw Dino Babers and all these guys have success that it was, well, my offense just works this way. Well, you're at USF now. You're not at where you've been before. And that's what I think is hard in the profession of coaching is it's like, do I switch up what I know I've been successful in or do I not? Like it's a slippery slope because you're always going to have the what if. So if he would have switched up and we weren't successful, he would have been like, well, I should have ran my offense. I knew it worked.
Right.
And I think that was the way with so many people. And even when Strong got there, I think his last couple of years, he had success doing it the way he did it for so long that now when it switched and it transformed over, it was like, well, do I change now or do I just keep going on this path because I know it's successful? And I think that's going to be a delicate balance. I think that's what Scott's going to find out real quick is that what worked at Clemson isn't going to work in South Florida. And some stuff may, but it's not college football isn't a one size fits all program. And I hate to say it. And I'd love to be optimistic and say it is. If you have a system and you can successfully run it, you'll win games, but that's just not how it works. I think that's why you see these young coaches flourishing because they're open-minded. I think that's why Taggart got the Florida State job so fast because he showed he was open-minded into these innovative philosophies that he was going to be successful. And most coaches won't do that because they're too scared to change because they don't know what's on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And how long were you at Florida State with Willie?
I was just there for 1 year.
1 year. Did you see anything different from his 2016, his final year at USF? Was he the same kind of person at Florida State? I know it's going to be different because it's Florida State, but
that's exactly what I'm going to say. Is it? You can definitely his differences were definitely noticeable just because at Florida State, man, he came in the office one day, and Taggart was my guy, and I used to mess with him, but you could tell he was getting to him because. If you do bad at USF, there's only a couple people talking bad about you. You do bad at Florida State, you're on ESPN talking about we need to fire you. So you could tell that got to him. And it just – when he got there and he had to hire people and do stuff like that, it was a struggle for him just because when you get to that level, you got to be the elite of the elite. And I don't know if he ever had the elite of the elite at FSU. To be coaches, but I also, in his fairness, I said it the day he got fired from FSU, is I don't know if he had enough time. A guy who's been deemed to turn around programs doesn't even get 2 years. So I think with him, there's always going to be the what if. Like, what if I had one more year? Because he's borderline on that year last year, going 8-4, 9-3. If he just wins a couple of those close games, and then he's on the up and up. I mean, Florida State, you're competing for national championships. You're not competing to go 9-3, but they were in a bad place when he took over. I think he could leave that place and stay there. they were better than when he found them, just because he recruited so hard and he worked and recruited like he was still at USF, and I think that helped him get some good players. He never had. When you get to that level too, I think you get into the realm of there's a lot of money being tossed around to these recruits, so it's hard to be a top 10, top 5 program in terms of recruiting, because you can't compete with Alabama and Clemson when it comes to money.
Yeah, Chris, coming out of high school, who are you recruited by other than USF?
I had Nebraska, Iowa State, Toledo. Those are really my main ones that I was looking at.
Did you go visit any of them?
No, so actually, I was committed to USF for like a year and a half at that point, and then going into like my visits, I called Coach Taggart and I told him I wanted to take a visit up to Toledo with Coach Candle, who's up there now. He was like one of my favorite coaches as a recruit. Still have a lot of respect for him. And then Coach Campbell went to Iowa State. That's when he offered me there. So I told him I was going to Toledo, and he's like, "All right, take this one." But he's like, "After this one, if you want to be a Bull, take our visit and make it 100%." Pretty much. I mean, he was like, "You're our quarterback for this class. We're not taking another quarterback. We haven't been recruiting any other quarterbacks. So, if you want to be a Bull, pretty much don't visit anywhere else." And I was cool with that. I won to stay home. I wanted to play at USF, so I was cool with that. But I was glad I got to go to Toledo too. But looking back on it now, like I tell my brother now, like never let a coach tell you like where you can and can't visit. That's what I sort of learned. Like I wish I would have just gotten the experience, even if I didn't go play at Nebraska or Iowa State. It would have been cool to go see those places.
Right. Your brother just committed this week, right?
Yeah, he committed to Iowa 2 days ago.
Very nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the Tampa pipeline to the Big Ten is something crazy. I know the GOAT Tom Allen's been raiding Hillsborough County for the last 3 years. So
the greatest.
That's why Indiana's getting good.
The greatest, man.
Tom Allen's a good coach. I told my brother when he got offered by Indiana, I was like, "You better take Indiana seriously." That's exactly what I told him.
Look, he's gonna have if he wants a big job, he'll get a big job. Best guy. He's the best, man. He's the best, man. I love Allen to death.
Isn't Indiana his alma mater though?
It's where he's from. I don't think he went
from
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this though, if Chris doesn't transfer, I probably still got a job at USF.
What you mean? You my guy. I would have told you to say. You would have had no choice.
Wait, so Chris, how different is the recruiting process as a transfer as opposed to like coming out of high school?
It's honestly like, so once you get put in the portal, I remember I got put in the portal and someone had told me like, just make sure you're always by your phone. And I was just like, whatever, I'll probably have a couple schools hit me up. So like when you're in the portal at this point, people pretty much know like, I'm not going to go like FBS and sit out a year. So I'm talking about D2 schools, D1 AA, D3, community colleges, like NA, like all these different like levels just start hitting you up, blowing up your phone. And at that point for me, I knew I was going to be leaving Tampa, leaving Florida. So really I was really just trying to look for the perfect fit. But I'd say it's way different being recruited, at that level than FBS for sure. Sure. I mean, just the money that's involved with FBS compared to FCS is it's not even comparable. I mean, I just look back on the things that like even my roommates still ask me, what did you guys get just gear wise at USF? And we were fortunate, we got a lot of stuff, and even then we were still complaining that we didn't get enough. And at Sanford, our equipment manager, he does more than enough for us. Our head coach, we literally fundraise to like get some of our gear just to like be fitted and be uniform. So, you take that stuff for granted when you're at that level. And then, being FCS now, it's sort of humbling to me, to be honest. You don't have we're not taking private planes to our away games. We're taking 10-hour bus rides to Virginia. So, it's way different.
Yikes. Yeah. So this is going to be your senior year, right?
Yes, sir.
With the entire world in flux, how strange is it for you to not know when, if you'll have a senior year season? what have you been doing to kind of stay sharp? And are you in contact with the coaches, every day? Was it like Zoom meeting, practices?
Yeah. So pretty much, we have a Zoom meeting. We have our Zoom meeting. Well, first we have group me chats. So we have group me chats with our whole team and our strength coach. He sends us a workout every single day. Conditioning wise, it's all optional, but you want to try to get that work in. Then we have meetings 3 times a week with our position coaches. They give us a script. I know at least quarterbacks, we get our script. We get our drills for that day. And, it's on us. It's a weird time because, all the parks are being shut down. So I've gone to like 10 different parks in Tampa and been thrown out, multiple times, and you just go looking for another park. So, I just work out every single day. Me and my boys, they have like a home gym. So I go work out with them. I'll go out. I have my little brother. Then, I've been working with I've actually been working with Jordan McLeod a lot. Ray. We'll go out. We'll work on some timing, some routes, just little stuff like that. So I've really just been trying to stay in shape and stay ready because you never know when we go back. Like whenever we go back, I got to be ready, especially my senior year. This is sort of like a money maker for me. So just gotta be ready.
Right. And, going into this season for you, I know you split time last year. Is it kind of your job to lose, or is it still splitting time? What was the assessment or, plan heading into spring ball?
So it's always going to be a competition. Me and our other guy, Liam, we're real close. That's my guy. So last year, he started the first game and then started the second game, but I came in the second series, and I started all the way out through there. But something a lot of people didn't know is I tore my hamstring in camp, and then I re-tore it the Citadel game, like bad. So I was playing pretty much the whole year, like with the torn hamstring, just I was like in and out of the lineup. I'd try not to practice for a couple of days and try to practice and then try game days, run. And it was sort of just a game to game basis how I was feeling. But, to open competition, I feel confident in myself, it should be my show next year. So,
man, you better win that job, man. Ain't no competition.
Come on. You know me, Augie. You know me, man. I'm
you just gotta say what's right for the camera.
I'm ready though, man. It's my last year, so it's all or nothing.
Yeah, embrace it, man. The time flies. That's for sure.
Trust me, I still remember when I was a freshman coming hanging out with you, Dev, and Bruce all the time, little freshmen just with the big dogs.
And now look at us now. You're the big dog now.
I'm working. I'll get there one day.
Well, guys, I think that's kind of it for me. I do appreciate y'all hopping on and, kind of discussing the uniforms, your experience.
I'd love to get the reverse of all this stuff, though. I'd love to get like the coaches unfiltered to give you their side of the stories too.
I would love to.
I was texting with Willie when the USF job opened, and we were talking, and we had a good phone call, just talking about how he wants to be at the same place for the next 4 years. And I was excited for him, to get the FAU job because I think he's going to be there for a while.
It's going to be hard to get a bigger job from there.
Yeah,
just knowing what they know now, it'll be tough. I think he'll be successful there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, South Florida, the recruits he's going to have access to down there, just like 10 minutes away from him, Boca, Broward.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be.
And he's going to work. He recruits, and in those jobs, if you can out recruit people, you got a really good chance. And he's going to work his butt off at recruiting. That's his thing. So I think he'll be real successful.
Yeah,
it'll be real good.
So appreciate y'all having us.
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all hopping on. Y'all can drop off, and we'll just kind of wrap up. But I appreciate it. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And just let us know if you guys need anything. We'll help as best we can.
Well, do appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah.